ECOZI Insights. So today we are in Bindura, Mashonaland Central. We would want you to have an appreciation of the work of the coalition members as they support education. As we talk for education, we also protect girls and boys through SDG number 5, gender equality, SDG number 4, quality education, and climate action, SDG number 13. Stay tuned to learn more in terms of the best practices, the models, the insights that we can learn from in terms of supporting education in Zimbabwe, in communities. How are you working with the members of parliament and the Ministry of Finance?
Yeah, so that's an important ministry that we work with, and I'm sure you have heard the mantra, and that's an important mantra in as far as the Education Coalition of Zimbabwe is concerned, because we have to domesticate resources towards education. And we are working with the Parliament of Zimbabwe in trying to mobilize resources locally such that we are in a position to support the activities that we have in education. I'm sure in January you heard what happened in terms of stop work order from America. That really affected most of our members, and in total when we did our last census we had about 14 members severely affected by the stop order work by the US. And that was actually a key element, a key learning area to say you must domesticate resources to finance your own activities in this particular country.
We are still in Mashonaland Central, where we are having an interface with one of the members. Welcome on board, Rige.
Thank you so much.
I would like you to introduce yourself and what your organization does.
All right, thank you so much for having me, Wadza. My name is Rita Tiriboyi, affectionately known as Advocate. I am representing Re-Inspiration for Girl Child Empowerment, where I'm the founder and director here in Bindura.
Thank you so much. Why did you join the coalition?
An interesting question, of course, Wadza. Thank you so much. So personally, as an educationist myself and as someone who is aspiring to advocate around education issues, we saw it fit to join Education Coalition of Zimbabwe because already it is steering the advocacy around education. So ECOZI brings us the balance between the work that we're doing in the community and knowing what is happening in terms of policy level. So it helps us to be part of those platforms where policy issues are discussed and also advocacy around education is discussed, so we don't miss out. We don't just depend on our work in the community, but we also know the existing trends within the education system.
It's of interest that you mentioned policy. As we are having this education insight, we are rallying around 3 sustainable development goals. The first being the right to education, SDG 4, with SDG 5 on gender equality, with SDG 13 on climate change. So as we are having this discussion, I would want to know your programming, the impact as you are feeding. I understand your work is around SDG 5 and how it supports SDG 4 as well.
All right, thank you so much. So basically, RIG is more concerned about women empowerment, but now we can't speak women empowerment without access to education. So we are doing more of advocacy around ensuring that girls remain in school. So we understand that there has been an amendment into the Education Act in 2020, where we actually carried out a robust advocacy around ensuring that girls remain in school. During COVID times, it was difficult for some girls to drop out of school, but we did a lot of advocacy around blending the community to know that the girls should go back to school, despite the challenges that they would have faced. So we're doing a lot of work around that. We are also going a step further into empowering the girls themselves. We are offering what is called psychosocial support, so that girls that have challenges in terms of access to education, we offer counseling to them, and when we understand the kind of needs that they have, we are also helping them to have access to education in that regard, where we offering support in terms of payment of school fees and ensuring that they have the learning materials that they need in partnership with various partners that we are working with.
It's of interest to know that you mentioned various partners. And you're saying you're empowering women. How do you blend the aspect of male involvement in your program?
Thank you so much. So male involvement, we are actually running a separate pillar, which is sexual, reproductive and health rights, where we saw that we can't speak SRHR, access to that, to the services and also knowing the SRHR rights without involving the males. We have noted with concern that in most of the feminist movements and the SDG 5 gender equality advocacy, people have been viewing men as the perpetrators, as the ones that are committing the crimes. But we went a step further and said, no, what if we just take the males on board and include them as equal partners? So we rolled out a program under which was supported by Gender Links, where we engaged the men as champions to assist us to champion access to sexual, reproductive and health rights services. We're actually happy to note that when we did that, including the traditional leaders, of course, we noted that men are now coming in as allies to support the movement towards access to sexual, reproductive and health rights services, which in turn is helping us to fight child marriages and teen pregnancies, which is a contributing factor to the school dropouts that we have in terms of girls.
It's of interest to note that you did not leave the community behind. The traditional leaders make things happen. Yes. If you're given an opportunity to bring in new ideas to the coalition for smooth running, what will be your 3 ideas at most?
3 ideas. Let me start with the main one that we have always been talking about in various spaces that we've managed to be in. We see an opportunity in terms of ensuring girls have access to school, and we commend the government of Zimbabwe for coming up with policies that are ensuring girls remain in school. But the gap that is there right now is whereby the community is divorced from what is happening within the school setup. And the girls themselves were advocating for them to have access to education, but they don't know what it means. They don't understand that it's an empowerment measure for them to be in school. So we feel and think that there is need for ECOZI maybe to facilitate a model that will bring together the community, the stakeholders within the communities, including the traditional leaders, of course, and also the schools themselves and the children that we are advocating for to have access to education. So if you have that model that brings all these actors together, then I'm sure we can achieve the SDG 5 that we want and also the SDG 4, the right to education. I'm sure that can be possible.
Thank you very much. That is very insightful and a mouthful. I hope maybe during the course, as we are still in Mashonaland Central, we'll be able to meet some of your beneficiaries who will then really testify the work that you're doing. We are deep down in Chipadzi, Mashonaland Central in Bindura district, where I'm joined by Sasha from Rige, one of the beneficiaries. Hi, Sasha.
How are you, Wadri? Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Could you say Bindura?
Bindura Kuribo.
As we do my statistics, we have heard that there are a lot of challenges being faced by girls. What are some of the challenges?
Well, some of the challenges that are being faced by girls in Bindura is they are dropping out of school due to poverty, which is also another reason. But then some of the girls are dropping out because of teenage pregnancy and child marriages.
I heard that Rige Inspiration Girls Empowerment is doing a lot of things. Tell us, what have you benefited from this organization?
Well, before I joined Rige, I never knew about my sexual reproductive health rights. But since I joined Rige, I now know about my sexual reproductive health rights. And I've also been given a chance to partake in the commemoration of the Day of the African Child and the Day of the Girl Child. And I was bestowed with also an opportunity to complete my certificate in climate change.
Oh, so you're a climate change activist. If you're given an opportunity to run Rige, what would you say these are the best models that you want to update? Benefit in some of the places.
I want us to have more programs that include vulnerable girls from all walks of life so that they can know and particularly they are more than what society sees, so that they can be the voice. Instead of us being the voice for them, they can be their own voices. Okay. And I also want so that just community empowerment, so that the community knows about that girl child should be empowered through education and the girl child deserves to go to school.
And to the other peers who are joining us in this show, what's your take to the studio?
Well, I want to urge them so that they can join more organizations. They should also be a part of ECOZI so that they know that education is the way to life. And I want us girls to be empowered. They must know that as girls, they deserve the empowerment they have. And I think sexual reproductive health rights, they must have the knowledge of the sexual reproductive health rights, because most of the girls right now, they are dropping out of school because of teenage pregnancies and child marriage. So they deserve to know their sexual reproductive health rights.
That was it from Mashonaland Central Province, Bindura District, where we have learned from these two beautiful girls how they have benefited in education, advocacy, in school and outside school, as they support SDG number 4, quality education, SDG number 5, gender equality.